And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
Are you good enough? Were you ever criticized as a kid growing up? People said, you're not going to make it. You're never going to be anything. Look at you. You're a loser. Where are those people now? They're not here. They're not with us, and they won't be there with you on your deathbed. So it's interesting, I think, about when we're growing up, we have so many people critical of us and so many people criticizing us. And I've shared with you before on the show what criticism to accept and what criticism not to accept. But today I want to share with you, what do you do when you are criticized? What do you choose to do? Think about that for a moment. Go back to all the years you've been around. You've been living for quite a while now. How do you react to criticism? Do you close in? Do you shut yourself down? Do you freeze up and just basically, cower down and go into a situation where you're scared? Or do you get angry? Do you get really mad and start chewing people out and saying, let's go at it? You want to go at it? Let's go at it. And I've shared with you either one of those approaches in the past really don't work well. And we've all done them. We've all done them, right? Or did you take a third tact where somebody criticized you and tell you you're not good enough or you're never going to make it and you're not going to be anybody, and you said, let me prove it to you. And you didn't even say it. You said that in your own head, and you decided to take an action that you were going to do something. I can recall as a kid growing up, whether it was athletics or whether it was work or whether it was school, and people making judgment calls on me. Well, they hadn't walked in my shoes, but they had told me that I wasn't going to break any school records. Well, I broke 2 of them, and I tied 1 of them in high school. One of them still stands all these years later. So I guess I proved that one wrong. I was told that when I worked minimum wage jobs and I was homeless that I was never going to be able to amount to anything. Well, now I own multiple businesses. I guess I proved that one wrong. Then I also, people shared with me that, that you're never going to be happy and you're never going to find happiness in your life. And that probably one hurt the most because I was a workaholic. And I decided that, I'm going to work on that as well. And I share with you today, and I'm opening myself up to you today for the simple reason to understand is that you do the same thing. Yes, you do. You respond to that criticism different ways. And some of you do take it as a challenge. And for those of you that do, I'm with you today because the challenge, you turn it into something good. The old saying goes, if the world gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? You make something good out of it. You don't sit there and beat yourself up. You don't sit there and say that I'm not good enough. You decide that, you know what, I'm going to prove it. Let my actions speak louder than my words. I don't need to rub it in your face. I don't need to say I told you so. What I just need to do is I need to go out and do the right thing by others. And what manifests in your life when you start to take this approach of personal accountability and being accountable for the way that you accept criticism and the way you react to it. When you become accountable to that, I want to share a secret with you. And the secret is, it's truly empowering. It is so empowering to accept criticism from other people and then go out and just make it happen. And some people say, well, how do you make it happen when you got nothing? You know what? You never give up. You believe in yourself and you push yourself. And I can share that story with you because it's my story as well as those of you that have been through it. Because you're listening to the show today, you've been through huge challenges in your life. You have. And yet you're still alive today. You're a survivor. You've overcome. And here you are today. Look in the mirror at you today. You're a survivor. You made it happen. Why? You took on the challenge and you beat the challenge, and here you are now. And through that, you took accountability. You took actions to get yourself where you want to be today. And I'm going to take it one step further, and I want you to think about this. And some of you are here, and some of you want to be here. And it's this level of accountability, of finding that confidence in yourself where you're accountable and you've proven it to yourself because that's who you had to prove it to. Oh, by the way, those other people saw what you did. That's cool. But you had to prove it to yourself. But once you get past that, then I want you to think, what are you doing to empower other people to be empowered? Do people around you feel empowered to grow? Do you create accountability in those around you so that they can grow in who they are? And that really, as I work with the greatest leaders and we talk about effective communication and how we relate as leaders, are we empowering people to be empowered? And I really, truly believe that life has taught me is that is the highest level of accountability, is that when we hold ourselves accountable to empowering others to be accountable. And how successful is the world that we live in when every person doesn't judge each other in a negative way. They look at what they bring to the table, what difference they make, and they take everything as a challenge of proving themselves that, you know what, I'm going to make good stuff happen. So I'm going to challenge you, be accountable yourself. When somebody criticizes you, take it as an opportunity to take it as a challenge. And then once you achieve that challenge, then help other people. Do what Dale Carnegie said, throw it on a challenge to people and allow people to grow in your presence. And when you do that, we all become more confident, better people. Now go make it happen.